Hello, good students. I am giving you an update today on kind of where you are in the semester. I had a student that inquired as to uh, what exam we were having next. We've got a class syllabus and a schedule that tells you we don't have another exam other than the final exam. So it's not contract breach, it's not contract formation. Instead, it is the final exam that has the entirety of contracts and as well as employment law. So, where we are today is November 16th. On December 10th, you have your final exam. That is a Wednesday. So you have a little less than a month available to study four different sections, two sections of contract law and two sections of employment law. So, please try to do that well in advance. I have added a new, and I'll post that in the announcements, but I have added a new Zoom session. We are going to have an additional Zoom session on Monday, December 1 at 12 o'clock noon. That will cover contract law. We'll review some of the more important points in contract law, some of the more difficult areas in contract law. And then, of course, the last Zoom session for the semester will be December 8th, also at 12 o'clock noon, also a Monday. And that's 2 days before the final exam, just sort of your last chance to at least contact me publicly, ask questions, review materials. You can ask questions on that one about employment law, but also contract law and maybe the final exam as a whole. I do not have the final exam written. I'm in the process of writing it now. So by December 1, I'll have a better idea. December 8th, I will have the entire exam written. So I'll know what's on there and kind of where that falls. Um, Housekeeping about the final exam. If for some reason you know you're going to miss it and you have a valid excuse for missing it, uh, please contact me in advance, not after the fact. After the fact is too late and a zero has already been assigned. I typically get those grades in very quickly, and I've assigned a zero if you miss the exam without advance knowledge from me. If you are going to miss it and you do have a valid excuse for missing it, and you do contact me in advance, there's only one option. It is not to take the exam early. It is not to take the exam late, more or less. You have to get an incomplete in the class. Next semester, beginning in January, you contact me again and arrange for an alternative exam opportunity. Um, and that then I can change the grade from an incomplete to whatever grade you earned at that time. So that's the only option that I offer. That's the only option that's available. My preference, of course, is for you to take the exam when it is scheduled. But I understand if there is something that is going to prohibit you from doing it, if you notify me in advance, and if it's a valid reason, then in that event you can get an incomplete for the class, and you can make that up. You can have that grade changed when you take the alternative exam in January or February. It must be done before the next semester ends, or else that incomplete turns automatically into an F that I cannot change. So it's not going to be an indefinite kind of thing. Okay, what else? The I am going to have between now and December, there'll be some bonus opportunities. It might even be the week of Thanksgiving. If it's the week of Thanksgiving, it doesn't count. So I would have the opportunity to do it even after you return from class. Don't worry if about working necessarily during Thanksgiving week when you're off. You don't have to do that. But for people that want to, if there's something there, I don't mind you doing it either. But be looking for those bonus opportunities. If you don't have your email set to automatically receive the class announcements when they're posted, I would highly suggest that you do so. If not, check the Canvas announcements on a daily basis so that you get that kind of information. Okay, I mentioned this a little bit on the Zoom session from last time, and I went back and reviewed a little more carefully. I'm going to go ahead and recap the survey. There were some good thoughts. Thank you for that. As I'm gonna give you extra bonus opportunities because y'all did such a good job with that, and I really do appreciate it. So thanks to all who did that. I have taken into account the request to add additional time for the exams. I will do so again for the final exam. Make sure that the exam may be a 2 hour exam. If it's a 2 hour exam, make certain that you start it on or before 10 p.m. Central Time. Central Time. If you're a West Coast time type person, I think that's 8 p.m. I think you're 2 hours apart. Whatever it is, don't hold me responsible for that. It's 10 p.m. Central Time because it closes at 11:59 p.m. At midnight, it is over. So your opportunity, the exam will be automatically submitted. I thought that you would have an opportunity to continue it after that, but apparently you do not. And if you do, don't count on it. Okay. What else about the survey? Very interesting comments on the survey. I got a mix on whether you wanted more graded activities, fewer graded activities, or liked it about the way that it was. Probably more people liked it just the way it was, but there was a good portion that wanted um, fewer. Fewer. They just didn't like having to have this graded activity exam every single week. My guess is in going forward, I'm probably going to split the difference. Instead of having 10 weekly exams, I might have 7 or 8, something like that. Give you a little bit of breathing room occasionally, kind of like a bye week in college football. You go 3 or 4 weeks and playing games, and then you might need a week off to do that. So I'm probably going to adopt something like that. Um, Overwhelmingly, the class wanted more real world examples. Apparently, you like my war stories, you like my actual cases that illustrate principles. I think I had one student that didn't like that, but everybody else liked it. It was overwhelming. A good 90 something percent wanted more. And because of that, I am going to do that. I enjoy doing that anyway, talking about it. I know those better than some case I've never heard of, other than reading it in a textbook, and I can hopefully illustrate the principles a little better with firsthand knowledge with that. I will be adding um, at least one video or handouts with some summaries of cases that I've handled that deal with especially contract law, but also employment law as well. I've got some doozies on employment law, both on the plaintiff side and defense side that would I enjoy talking about when we have an on-campus class, and I'll try to put that in a Zoom as well. There was a request from one student for me to redo my old videos. It was interesting because I didn't really think about that, but they said that when I first started doing that, I was a lot stiffer than I am. It was almost like just kind of not going through the motions, but not something that they enjoyed as much as the newer videos. And I will take that into account as well. I can't necessarily redo all the old videos now, but I will start doing that. I'll start doing with a mix with that. Um, okay. I guess one other thing that I want to mention, those of you who are using AI, Chat GPT, and whatever, you're only hurting yourself. And I'm not, listen, I'm not doing that thing that oh, you really need to learn. I mean, you do. You really need to learn. You need to think critically and all those kind of things, and then use AI to help you. Um, I'm coming at it with, your grades are being affected. It's not getting the questions right. I'm getting three paragraphs of nonsense. Some of it may apply, but a lot of it doesn't apply. So you're hurting your grades. Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop it. Read the material, study before you fail the final exam. Um, anyway, and again, I've had two students that have been booted out already. I don't like doing that. I really don't. That's a blight against you. It's a mark against you. But golly, I keep seeing it, and I know who you are. I know who you are. Fix it. I'm trying to help you. Help me help you with this. And speaking of that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this with what I always say. If there is something I can do to help you in the class, please get in touch with me. Let me know. I do like to see students refer to the material that I've already prepared if there's a question on it. If you ask me when is the next Zoom session, if it's on the calendar, I'd like for you to look at the calendar. If you ask me when the final exam is, I'd like for you to do that. If there is a question about a makeup, I'd like you to go and look at the makeup policy. Um, but other than that, if there's a question about the material or legal principle or whatever, I am here for you. I would, if you text me that, I may say, hey, let's continue this conversation over email so I can type it on my computer and have a little more length with it. Or I may say, let's set up a Zoom session and discuss. Or I may say, how about let's just talk about it on the telephone, some way like that. But I don't mind. You contact me any way you want to, and we'll discuss it at that. I guess I do have one more thing to mention to you, and that is, um, I did not realize that my grading schedule and policy was difficult to understand. Um, but and I didn't go back and calculate exactly, but it was running somewhere around 25% of you were actually correctly calculating that example that I gave you. Um, I'll have I'm gonna post a video on how to do that separately. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. It may not even apply to you, but it's the basics of it are, I think, not that hard. We have 10 exams. They're 100 points each. So that's 1,000 total points, but only eight of them count, the eight highest grades. So we drop the two lowest grades. Well, what if you missed an exam? Well, if you missed an exam, you get a zero, but whatever percentage you made on the final exam will substitute for the missed exam. So you make up 180 out of 200, that's 90%. You missed an exam, you get a 90, not a zero. So you count all those exams up, you take your eight highest ones, those count, and then whatever you get on the final exam, and you add that up. Final exam can't be dropped. So you add up all those points, and you throw in bonus points. If you get bonus points, you throw in all those points, and then you divide it by 1,000. That's it. That's it. It's you might have out of the 800 points, maybe you've got 650 points. You make 150 out of 200 on the final, you end up with 800 points total. 650 plus 150 is 800. 800 divided by 1,000 is 80%. You make a B in the class. Barely, but you make a B. Maybe you've got 720 points in your eight exams total, including bonus points. And that's the eight highest. And that's after you include whatever if you had a substituted grade. Of course, you won't know that until the final exam is over. But let's say you've got 720 points and you make 180 on the final out of 200. Then you end up with 720 plus 180. That's 900 points. 900 divided by 1,000 is 90%. You've got an A. It's that easy. Another way to look at it is anything from 900 points and up is an A. Anything from 800 points to 899 is a B. 700 to 799 is a C. 600 to 699 is a D. Anything below 600, and you get a failing grade for the class. Those that take the class and aren't using AI and actually reading material, y'all aren't going to fail. You know, your grades are not going to fail you. You're doing much better than that. Um, the others, I don't know. Anyway, I hope this helps. I'm not here to chastise. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to help. And I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed in this class and beyond. If there's something I can do to help you with in that endeavor, let me know. I will see you December 1st.